Tonight we're doing something a little bit different, and it's basically, again, going to be a collective reading, but this one's a focused reading, and it was brought to my attention, comments in the comment section about being bullied and harassed. And since that is something that often comes up on this channel for important messages, and I feel like a lot of people deal with harassment or bullying or some kind of attack in some way, in whatever way that manifests for whoever, and everyone's different, so it's going to manifest differently. Some, it may not manifest at all, but this reading is specifically targeting that, and we're just going to talk, and basically we're going to do, it is going to be a reading, but it's also going to be tips. It's going to be, well, let's just get into it. And I want to start off the kind of providing a protective atmosphere, at least in this reading, just because of the sensitive nature of what it is, and it can always be used and always be harnessed for our protection and healing. So let's start. Okay. So let's start. So there's going to be different levels of harassment that pops up in this reading, and the comment that caught my attention was one of mass harassment. Now, anyone who's dealt with this knows what this is, and it's very easy for people to discredit and gaslight and say that you're crazy, even though you know what you're experiencing. Having experienced this myself, I do know that it does exist. The idea is, for some reason, you have been chosen to be harassed or bullied, mobbed up on. You see this a lot in jobs mobbing. That does help. That does happen. So this mobbing behavior is common, and for different reasons. So for whatever reason that you're experiencing this right now, it's due to either who you are, your energy, something you said. Not saying that you're in the wrong, I'm just saying that people took offense to something you said, something you did, something you stand for, the way you are, who you are. There's something that people have latched onto, and it often takes on, when it starts to become mass, large in number of the scale of the harassment campaign, it tends to take on a very supernatural feel, and there's probably this element also behind it as well. It takes on a life of its own. I do believe that there is egregores attached to this type of behavior, and that it is being fed some type of spiritual entity that is feeding off this energy as well, because of the supernatural tones that it takes many times. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull when I'm talking. Let's see, let's start with Spill the Tea. Maybe this might help us to understand any of the reasonings that may lie underneath the underlying feature of why this is happening. Ego check. Interactions are forcing you to confront your own ego. Okay, so either they have a huge ego, which obviously they do. If they're engaged in this kind of behavior, their ego is out of check. They may feel that your ego is out of check, and so that's why they're attacking you. Often projection is very much the thing when it comes to this type of behavior. Any kind of mobbing or mass bullying, harassment campaign. Huge egos involved. It's a very narcissistic action. There's a lot of mental personality disorders that feed into this type of behavior, because who has the time and energy and stamina to kind of just engage in this behavior? What kind of like negativity you must be really harboring inside to go to these extremes. Inner circle, you are excluded from the inner circle. This may take a part, this may play a part in what you're dealing with, feeling excluded. This may be a way to make it's a way to make you feel excluded. People coming at you, attacking you from different angles. You feel overwhelmed, you feel excluded. That's part of it. They want to isolate you, make you feel excluded. They may want you to harm yourself, self-harm, even in the most extreme measures. I might find it hard to talk in this video. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to, because of the subject. And there's a lot of energy behind this subject. There's a lot of force, there's a lot of negativity and a lot of emotions. So I'm trying to keep it silent understanding, unspoken understanding creates a deeper connection. So there's a misunderstanding. I mean, this deeper understanding does create deeper connection, but I feel like understanding these people is not going to happen because they're not coming from a place. This is, maybe they have a silent understanding, maybe they are, I don't know, that's interesting. Maybe you can try to understand that they're deeply flawed, and this is how they're, maybe one of the things that you can do to help heal is to understand that they are deeply flawed and that they have major issues, and not let it get to you. The number one thing is to not let it get to you. And I know that's easier said than done. Anyone who's been through this knows that you go through many stages, and one of them is, yeah, you do take it personal. You do get angry. You get very angry. You get upset. You do feel as if, you know that, I mean, a lot of us know that we're not at wrong, but just the way it comes at you and the relentless way can make you feel like it just has you in your feelings. Oh, gossip spread. Rumors are spreading quickly. This is how it gets around. This is how they recruit the people into this, their inner circle. So here we got their inner circle that they're excluding you from, but they have an inner circle who have a silent understanding, but through gossip. There's gossip too. There's gossip. They need to check their ego, but the gossip is what gets people to turn against you and to join this inner circle of, you know, oversized ego, and, you know, they have something, I don't know what they're saying. It's going to be, of course, it's going to be different from everyone. They could call you really horrible things, accuse you of really horrible things you've never done, embellish things, make you look bad, say you did things you've never done. The smear campaign is really big. Again, I don't know everybody's stories, but especially when it comes into the mass harassment, you're dealing with a lot of gossip. Loyal or not. Okay, so they test each other's loyalty. Okay, you may have failed a loyalty test. So this group may be kind of like a cult-like group. Not saying they are a cult, but they could have an ideology, either religious, political, some kind of ideology that maybe you didn't 100% like get on board with. 100% like, oh yeah, whatever you say, that's there, that's exactly how I feel. And you failed the loyalty test. Someone was testing your loyalty. You may have failed. You didn't have the right answer. You didn't respond the way they wanted you to respond. And then you got targeted because now you must be a certain way because you don't feel or act the way others do. Overthinking. Okay, they want you to overthink what they're doing. So they may do their little, you know, however they bully you, however they come at you, giving gang stalking vibes, really. It's giving that. But they want you in your head. They want you to be emotional about it. They want you overthinking it. They want you to be trapped. They want you to be Eight of Swords. They want you to not move forward. This group, that's their main goal, is to have you ruin yourself. It's really sad. It's really sad. There's something majorly wrong with these people. We're talking majorly wrong, like something has gotten into their head that's really gotten them like, whew. Unexpected news. Unbelievable news will shatter your expectations. Again, they may have like, oh my gosh, with the gossip. Oh, did you hear this? Oh my gosh. And then painting you off to be somebody really horrible. Or there could be an unexpected news about the issue that's coming up. Or, I mean, surrounding this issue. Again, I'm sorry. That's why I kind of try to take a moment in the beginning. Because, yeah. I knew it was gonna, my tongue was gonna be tied and weird little crap was gonna like come up. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. Putting on a show. They're putting on a show, or they're observing you as if you're putting on a show. Something about being in a spotlight. Maybe they put on little shows and to get to you. Burning evidence. Interesting. This someone's could be legal. Could be a legal reason why you're being harassed for someone. Burning evidence. Or maybe there's something that shows you as being a really good person and they get rid of this, or they kind of edit what they say or how they speak about you by not sharing the good stuff, or somehow there's some kind of cover-up in a way. Definitely burning evidence, like actual literally burning evidence might come into play. Again, someone's harassment might be legal, which makes sense if there's a legal case or someone, some kind of justice pending that someone would go to lengths to harass someone for that. Envy. There's a lot of envy going on. For whatever reason, people envy you. They want what you have. They think you haven't earned it. Again, with envy and putting on a show, they may see you as a star and they envy that. That's a possibility. Sorry you're going through this. A divorce. Breaking contracts. So some bullying and harassment may have to do with a divorce. Breaking contract. It's some kind of legal issue surrounding a divorce or a relationship. Okay. We got hater and we got red lipstick stains. There may have been an affair and also a hater. And also I'm getting as well, like someone might be hated on because they feel like this person is attractive, or like the person they're hating on is attractive or gets attention in a, like they attract people to them through their appearance. But also, again, definitely there is an affair, and this hater might have to, is in some way associated with that affair as well. That makes sense. Okay. So some of you may have been in a past relationship that maybe going through legal things, or some kind of, either there was an affair or there was a significant other to that person who is also hating on you. Game over. Definitely. There's a heart there, so the love affair is over, or the relationship is over. But also maybe signaling that some of this game playing is over, which would be really nice. You know? I mean, people need to get a clue. But what do you need to do? You need to focus on yourself. Let's just pull off, actually, before I get into the things that we need to do to help us, let's go ahead and maybe look at some other underlying issues that may be underlying what's going on here with inside. Inside, but also underground. Kind of a shady, dark place, you know, kind of like iffy. A cover-up. Okay, with the burning evidence and the cover-up, there was some kind of, either it's a cover-up for an affair, or it's a cover-up, something's being covered up, and possibly a crime. Do you know something about a crime? Something that's been committed? Maybe they think you know about spouse, partner. Okay, there's definitely a relationship. So a good number of the people who are experiencing this bullying, harassment, it's coming from a partner. A spouse, a partner, an ex-spouse, an ex-partner. Definitely some affair. I'm getting an affair. Not everybody, okay? Everybody's different. Strangulation. Wow. Okay. With this, if you look at the imagery, I know, people might be triggered by that, but it looks like someone or these groups may want you to take an extreme measure to exit your life experience because of what's going on. And it may help them. At the very extreme, there could be a cover-up for a murder. I don't think that that's happening. I mean, it could. I mean, that does happen. But I'm feeling that basically that's... They also, too, not even just literally, but metaphorically, in a way, want your life strangulated. They don't want your breathing oxygen into your life. A gift. Be aware of gifts. Sometimes these gifts aren't given with the best of intent, and it could be a way to get in or to create cords with you, psychic cords, and there's something there about the gift. Some of you could live in the mountains or live near mountains, and it's something about the neighborhood, the current neighborhood, like the individual who left the comment. If it's a community nearby the neighborhood, and for some reason these two popped out together. It could just be how this is happening. Someone could have it out in the mountains or near a mountainous area, but also a lot of people are having it in their neighborhood or in a very like a city, urban. So that's interesting. And what do we do to combat this? What can we do to help us move forward? It takes a long... Oops, sorry. Again, this video is going to be probably everywhere just because of the energies involved. You need to focus on yourself. You need to find the things that you love to do. You need to find the desire, the creative spark. You need to tap in and you need to focus all your intention on that. What you don't need to focus on is what they want you to focus on, is what they're doing. You don't focus on that. You don't give it any energy. You starve it as much as possible. Yes, you may notice it. At some point, if you've been dealing with it long enough, it just is like, whatever, okay, again, okay, boring, you know, okay, like, okay, bunch of, okay, bottom feeders. You have to look at these people that are doing this as low-life bottom feeders who have no life. Because obviously they don't, if they're willing to take all this time out of their life to just do this to you. I'm like, really? Like, come on. It's like, makes no sense. Okay? It makes no sense. But yeah, you need to focus on yourself. That's the number one, is building yourself up. Like, you need to get hobbies. If you don't already have hobbies, I'm assuming you probably do. You can amp up your protections, both in the 3D and the spiritual. There's a lot of spiritual protective measures you can take. You need to create a large, very strong and large protective barrier. And you need to make sure that you feel safe in the physical world as well, with any kind of defense. If you want to take some kind of defense course or learn some defensive moves, you know, from YouTube or something that you don't have to spend a class on, or you can get like pepper spray, you can get, you know, like the little key knives. Arm yourself in a way to keep yourself safe just in case. Now, that's not to say, they're probably, for the most part, most of the harassment that we probably have faced, I can't speak for everyone, but is going to be rather benign, annoying, intimidation, but it's not, you know, but always be careful, because this day and age, well, in any day and age, trust me, it's always been scary. It's always been, you've always had bad actors, so be sure to protect yourself. Getting temperance here. Be balanced. Be balanced in your moves. Be balanced in your emotions too. And don't be so... It's okay to have strong boundaries. It's okay to be firm. And it's also okay to be flexible. You got to be able to find that kind of what works and when. Okay? And move with that. I am not the same person I was years ago. When I started noticing the crazy shit that was happening, I've changed a lot. And you know what? You're strong. You're here. You've gotten this message. So you're more than likely, you're probably a spiritual person. You know something's going on. You're aware of it. Now just focus on yourself. Take all that fire and like anger and pour it into something you enjoy. You have to do it. Strength again. Oh, I love this strength card because she's looking right at this cobra. It's so great. Fortified wall behind her, you know, staring the cobra in the eye, in a meditative pose. You know, she's staring, but she's in a meditative pose. She's not striking it in any way. She's not harming it, but somehow she's overpowering it with her energy and her power. Okay, there's a tower to the lovers as well. What came out with strength too. So there's a tower movement. a tower moment. This could be anything. This could be to what's going on in your life. This could be to the whatever kind of bullying and harassment you're facing. This could also be to this relationship. Some of you may have a relationship that is, going to, need another cycle, maybe end, have something happen. I'm also getting that someone wanted an affair. Someone wanted an affair with all these affair and couple cards, and it didn't happen. So maybe you're someone who refused. You have your partner, or maybe you didn't want to be in a relationship and you refused, and that got someone upset, and so they started some kind of again, rumor starting, a smear campaign, got all their little recruiting all these little haters, and then it just spread throughout the community. This does happen, especially now that we have technology. It's even easier because, phone, messaging apps, pictures. People get a little bit too much with their freaking phones, man. That's all I gotta say. Some people need to watch out, because some people just aren't having that. Some people really do value privacy, and sometimes I see people, they just overstep. I'm like, you're gonna run into the wrong person. And you know what? We're the wrong people. We really are. And I'm not saying that oh, we're gonna hurt them, unless they come at us. We gotta use self-defense. But we're the wrong people. We are the wrong people, because we are spiritually connected. Yeah, we are. See, we got the Three of Wands, and we got the Star. Okay? Three of Wands and the Star. I'm getting, strong. You need to get to a point, if you're not there already, I feel like some of us are, that we're solid. We hit that strength card, and now we're moving out into the world with more confidence. Our energy is stronger. It's more fortified. It's ready for more expansion. And the Star, that's our higher connection. That's that spiritual connection that you have. Okay, so besides focusing on yourself and doing what you enjoy and building up yourself, besides all that, your spiritual connection, whatever form that takes, that's going to be very important for you to really engage in, to really commune with whatever you commune with is going to help you. I feel like this video is hard to make. I'm not saying it's hard to make because it's hard to make. There's something about getting the words out in a way and having it flow in a way that's not quite. And I feel like that's another thing. They don't want you to communicate. They don't want you to talk to other people. They want you to be afraid. They want you to be paranoid. They want you to look at everyone like they're a bad person. Like, that's a possibility. They could get me. They're against me. That kind of thing. And it keeps people paranoid. And quite a few, you know what, I would bet that some of the people out there that do suffer from paranoia have had it triggered by something that other people did to them. I would place a bet on that. I really would. I don't think it comes out of nowhere. There may be people with disorders and stuff, but I think it comes from somewhere. It doesn't just spring out of nowhere. Defend to the end the worthwhile. You know what? No matter what other people think about you, stick to what you believe, stick to what you know, stick to what you feel. You don't have to change for anyone. You don't have to change to get people off your back. You're strong. Stay strong. Nothing's really going to happen. They want you to stagnate. At the very worst, they want you to disappear, to get rid of you, to have you get rid of yourself. But that's not going to happen. You're here, it's not going to happen. If you're here, you're seeing these videos, it's not going to happen. Visions of life beyond death. Visions of your life beyond death. Oh, the owl is showing up here. Okay, yes, the third eye. You're going to have increased visions. Might help you with the kind of stuff that you're facing. I know I have had quite a, through my time and experience, I did have visions showing me things. I had one vision, a hypnopompic vision, where it was two individual, like, demon-y looking, monstery looking people holding up like regular people, but they were like just like limp bodies, or like a puppet, like a doll, but it was like a person, and they were trying to hold them up. But what was happening was they couldn't hold them up to hide what was behind it, who was behind the empty person. So this could mean someone is under a influence, some kind of like darker spiritual influence. They did that also too. They just can't hide their ill intent. Their masks are falling. Their false persona is falling, and it will fall. And that was a vision I did receive, that they were trying to hold these up and they couldn't hold them up. It was slipping. That's how it is. You'll get visions. If you really like focus on the spiritual side of this, and I tell you, like, you'll get dream clarifications about it. So I would tap into that too, because there's something, another owl. There's something there for you. Here we go. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Exactly. You're not hunted. You're the hunter. If anyone decides to come after you, they've marked themselves fair game. They've marked themselves that they are okay being your prey. You can use psychic vampirism on them in self-defense. There's a way to take from them as they take from you. Again, transmuting what they take from you as well. Again, you can look this up. It is a type of self-defense. And have strong boundaries. But once someone has come off and you know that they're like, don't go after them in a way that's going to like be bad for you. Don't do that. There's other ways, strategic ways that, no one ever knows. But yeah, your spirit team knows. Your spirit team might go after them. Then what? Have a strong spiritual team. If you work with deities, whoever you work with, whatever face and form that takes, make sure that these are strong beings that you're working with. Protective beings. Don't be afraid, like, go light, go dark. There's a way to work with each of these ways, and each of these types of beings in healthy ways. Don't be afraid. That, another thing, don't be afraid. It's better to be mad than to be afraid in these types of situations when you're getting caught off guard and being attacked from different angles. Okay? But also, don't react. Don't react. Be firm and, defend yourself if you have to. But don't put yourself in any kind of danger, whether that be physical danger or actual just danger to your way of life. There's ways to handle these things with being strong, but not coming off as like overbearing, right? Legacy and light and receiving. Okay, you're going to be receiving a lot of this light, this spiritual protection. You're going to be protected spiritually when you tap into this, as long as you're willing to. I feel like you are now, but I'm feeling like you're really going to get more of this protection. Got strong spiritual connection, strong deities watching over you. Okay? Yeah, this is a topic because it's so widespread. A lot of people are facing this in different ways, different types of harassments that they're in, bullying, like all over the world. Like, people are targeted, and things are some things are really horribly done, and some things are mostly psychological. I feel like a lot of the stuff that's done now, at least again, in most, I can speak for, because of my experience, like in Americas, like in the developing, like more developed, areas of the world, it's mostly psychological, right? And technological, you know? Other places, I mean, I don't know, it could be a little bit more harder, right? Again, especially if you're doing something that isn't appreciated spiritually, religiously, or politically. I'm going to probably do another video. I don't feel like this video did this topic justice. But I really feel like the most important part that is that you need to stay calm. You need to be focused on yourself. You need to focus on what makes you excel. Do you like doing artwork? Do your artwork. Don't think about what's going on, unless it really does pose like a physical danger. Do your artwork. Do your, whatever you do, you write. You like to go somewhere. Also, too, if you're out and you notice like some weird stuff from people that, may be doing that, put your headphones in. Look the other way. If you're like sitting down, if you're in public transport, just close your eyes. Take deep breaths. Okay, and that's another thing. Deep breath, meditation, binaural beats, slow down your brain waves, focus, get into liminal states. Get into these states when you're at home, when you have the extra time to really just connect, because I feel like this is going to help you control. It's about control. It's about controlling your mind. It's about controlling your emotions. And a lot of witchcraft, a lot of the occult studies is exactly about that as well. Like, that's a huge part of it. If you want to change your reality, you want to bring something into, existence for yourself and change things, you're going to have to change yourself. You're going to have to work with the energies. I've noticed throughout the years that I've grown, my energy is getting to a point where it's super strong. And so I guess it's always been strong because people have always reacted, but it's super strong now. Like, I can feel it most of the time. And now my off days aren't that bad. Like the last reading we had about the Five of Cups, do that. If you have to go look at the last video, do that. Stop focusing on all the bad stuff. That's what they want. That's why they're harassing and bullying you, to get into your headspace, to change your mind, to change your emotions, so that they can change your life and they can destroy you for whatever reason. And there's a lot of reasons. These people are really screwed up and they need an ego check. It's like the first card that came out was like, one of them was ego check. That's what they need. Because they're not good people. But you are. Remain strong. You're protected. You're super protected. And you got the owl showing up many times. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of clarity coming in. You're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to know how to react to these things when they come up. It's been a long journey, and I hope that you'll be able to stick with yourself. Like, no one's stronger than yourself when you really pour in the focus and the time. Because sometimes if you try to tell people things, they might not understand. Your family might not understand, your friends might not understand, significant other might not understand. Be hurtful. So what you do is you take the focus off whatever is causing you turmoil and you put it to where bliss is. And I know it's hard to do that always because, you know, you're at work or you have something that you have to do, and you find a way. Find a way to distract your mind. Burps again. Take it off of what is going ill at the time for you. It's all about building up your character because they want to tear it down. I may do more videos on like what to do and how to do it in ways, but I feel like a lot of the readings that I've done prior will also give you tips, tricks, and again, there's a lot of other wonderful resources on YouTube or other media sites that will also help if you've had these exact things happen. You know, these experiences and how best to deal with them. But you're good. You're here. You're good. You're protected. I don't feel that it get too violent. I feel that it's psychological in nature. I feel that they want to get one over on you. And mainly it's built and based off of lies that they've told others about you and that they believe about themselves. They've sold out to a certain way of thinking and way of being, and because you haven't, that upsets them and triggers them at the highest degree. And these people are connected again to, there's some kind of egregoric like force that's kind of feeding as well when these people act. But you know what? You have all the tools that you need. You'll be fine. And again, this channel is always here, and we're always getting messages based off of this, and it's always popping up. So this is a huge, we're one of the reasons that this channel is here is to heal from this kind of abuse. You know, there's a lot of things that this channel is healing for, that helps heal from, right? That the messages are guided towards, and that comes out in these messages. And I feel like this is one of them. I say tap into your creative spark. The act of creating alone, no matter how great or how bad it is, just create. I feel like that's really going to heal you, and it's really going to build up your spirit. Because this reading was interesting to experience, again, the energy around this reading it's just hard to get the words out sometimes, right? So I'll obviously revisit this in other videos that when the topic rises. Until next time, again, you focus on you and don't back down. Okay? You are strong. You are, here it is. Defend to the end what is worthwhile. That means what's within you and what you like to do. Focus on that. That's your new focus. And this will heal you. And with that, good night.